Personally, I don't think there is such a thing as a happy gamer. Now, what I mean by that is not to say you can't enjoy a game, but you're never going to be happy 100% of the time playing a game, even ones you love. You're going to hit a point, or an enemy, or a puzzle, or an obstacle, or a mechanic, or a combination of everything, or nothing like any of those. Something entirely different that is going to push you over the edge and send you into a rage spiral. And we've all been there before. It's a very natural thing. You just keep beating your head against a wall, trying to sort out, a puzzle in a Zelda dungeon. I can remember back when I was a kid playing, Link's Awakening. And I think it was the second dungeon. It's a very simple puzzle looking at it now, but at the time, my 9-year-old brain just couldn't piece it together. There were 3 enemies in the room. I can't remember the names. I think one was like Astalfos. Oh, hold on. Maybe I can. Stalfos, Paul's, or a false voice. And there was one other. But anyways, you had to kill them in a very particular order. And if you did that, a key would drop down and you'd be able to open another door and progress through the dungeon. I couldn't figure this out. I could not for the life of me figure out what I was doing wrong. So I never managed to beat that dungeon. And it would be, I think, another solid 2, maybe 3 years before I finally came back to the game, figured that out, and beat it. But I was so mad that I couldn't figure out this simple little puzzle. I shut the game off. I took out the cartridge. I jammed it into a drawer. And it was, like I said, it was left alone for a good 3 years. That's a pretty tame example of being angry. There are plenty of others where people have been so mad they've whipped a controller across the room or, thrown their game case, or I guess like super extreme, you kicked the game station or you threw your remote at the TV, something like that. Smashed your keyboard. There's another perfect one. And that's where game rage can get pretty frightening. You can just get so worked up and angry and even violent about something that isn't even real, that really doesn't have any tangible physical meaning or weight to it, but it still pisses you off the exact same way. Anything from losing at a race to someone teabagging you after they've beaten you in a game of Call of Duty or any kind of first-person shooter multiplayer experience. It's really annoying. And taunts. Oh, if the game has built-in taunts, that's even worse because that's not like, oh, they hit the wrong button. It's like, no. That button has a whole little space for itself. The button is reserved for taunting and nothing else. They knew what they were doing. And playing with friends, it kind of helps because you've got somebody else to deflect. One of you is inevitably not going to be as mad as the other, and you can kind of bring the angrier of the 2 or 3 of you, or however many you're playing, down a notch and kind of even each other out. But something that I've been doing over the last, I would like to say, year with Andrew, and I would encourage anybody who's listening to this and experiences the same kind of anger in multiplayer games to do the same, because it helps a lot. And it's not like meditation or drinking herbal tea. Congratulate. No matter what happens, congratulate. The example I can use would be in Brawlhalla, which I think I talked about when I was mentioning how there's always a better player than you, or the people who kick the ever-loving crap out of you and beat you 5 times in a row. That would make you angry. But every single time, what we'll do, is just say, good game, congratulations, well done, that was nice, excellent hit. And I think we even threw on the persona of acting like old-style Englishmen, like, I say, good show, well done, indeed, what ho. And we act like the landed gentry and try to effectively bring a little bit of class to the multiplayer experience, because certainly in a community like Brawlhalla, and I'm trying to think of other ones that are notably volatile, people can get really nasty when they lose. They can even be really nasty when they win, which is something I never understood, because you figure you won. Okay, you don't need to rub it in. They know they lost. And if you beat them and you didn't lose any lives, or it was like a shutout, they really know they lost. So the last thing you need to do is rub it in their face, because that's just sour grapes. And you won. The people who lost should be the ones getting angry, if anything. And you've all heard the usual stuff, like if you win, people yelling at you like, oh, hack, spammer. And if I could talk about that in a whole separate episode, maybe we'll save that kind of stuff for a whole separate episode. But suffice to say that if you lose, congratulate. In fact, if you lose or win, congratulate. Be humble in victory. Be humble in defeat. And it goes a long way. I can actually say with 100% certainty, there have been several occasions where we have won big, whether it was in Brawlhalla or Rocket League or any other kind of multiplayer game, and just by saying something like, "Good job," or "Well done, sirs," something like that. And whether it's because it's so polite or kind of goofy, it kind of takes the hate wind out of their rage sails, and they calm right down and just GG and leave. Or they'll say something like, "Yeah, you too." And I feel like going in with that kind of spirit sets you up for success, even if you fail. Because one of the things that can turn people off of a game really quick is a community that is absolutely volatile and mean and nasty and unforgiving for new players who are just learning the mechanics and whether or not they like this character or that one or this role or that role. You get what I'm saying? It goes a long way towards building a more robust, resilient, and welcoming online community if people are humble and friendly. It's okay to mean to rib each other. I mean, we all enjoy doing that. Go to a hockey game and you see that all the time. But again, just being humble and essentially not being an asshole, it does wonders in situations that could easily just dissolve into a giant swearing contest as to who can come up with the most creative, offensive line to throw at the other guy. So that's what I wanted to say on that particular subject, because playing Brawlhalla recently and losing pretty badly, I don't mind admitting that, we employed that same tactic that we've been using, and it worked. Because they were about to get salty in victory. And again, we just took it right out of them by just going like, "Well done, sir. Excellent shot. My, that was a superb blow." You don't have to quite go that far or adopt some sort of aristocratic, upper-class, old-fashioned Englishman persona to get the point across. But if you do, I will say from personal experience that it's comedic, it's entertaining, and it serves to calm you down as well. But once again, I'd be interested in hearing how you have dealt with this kind of problem in your own online gaming experiences, whether you've employed a similar tactic of just being overly friendly or nice and humble, or if there's an entirely different approach that you've found to be super effective and that I didn't even touch on. Either way, hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, by all means, feel free to share it around. And until next time, my name's Rye. Take care of yourselves.